Good morning, YouTube. It looks like the greatest American hero is on right now. But as much as I don't want to do this, I'm going to have to give up my hopes of making this micro camper two-person. Yeah, it looked good. The idea I thought was pretty good. Implementation-wise, testing it, it seemed like it worked until I tried to sleep in it. And the fatal flaw is there's just not enough room, at least for me. I found 2 feet of vertical clearance, not enough. I'm sore from last night because when I had to move up through that hole, you basically, the only thing you can do in here is lay down when it's in this mode, in the bed mode, and you don't have room to even sit up. There's only 2 feet. You probably need like 3 feet to be able to sit up. So with only 2 feet clearance, maybe 2.5 at the most in that center portion, it wasn't enough. It's like hard to even roll over, you know, like crawl in here to move around. So you have to slither like a snake. And there's like only probably about a little bit under 4 feet of width here to move. So when I had to turn around and crawl, I had to twist and turn, and now my back is all out. So seeing that, even with just one person, I can pretty much say this is not going to work for 2 people. And what that means is all this stuff that was done with the platform and stuff is going to have to be removed, because I still want to try to live in this vehicle with a micro camper. But the problem is, see, you have all this loss here. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a loss of space. It's like about a foot, 10 to 12 inches. You know, with the design with the shelving underneath here and the bed platform. So what I'm going to do is I want to try to keep this, because it's nice to have the ability to have a table and chairs and stuff for camping, and to be able to carry fishing gear, you know, so you can go fishing. So I'm going back more towards the original design, which was, we're going to build up this side here. So, because you need storage, you know, otherwise just opt for storing on the roof, building a roof storage or something, so I can store stuff outside of the vehicle. But ideally, you should have storage for like clothing, you know, so that you can get dressed and go to work or whatever. And so that's something I'm still trying to work out. You might be able to have 2 people in here if you remove the whole bottom panel completely. Or maybe only raise it like this high, the height of this table. So if you make the panel the height of this table, you lose about 2 inches, 3 inches. But see, the thing is, I don't know if that's going to be enough, but I think it would be enough to sit up. You know, to give me just enough room to sit up. But that would allow some storage, like the table, the chairs, fishing pole. So you're still making a false bottom, but you're going to give up. It seems crazy to say 2 inches could make a difference, but 2 inches could be the difference between whether I can sit up inside or not. I might try it, you know, but that would require a platform that basically is just going to give you some storage inside the vehicle that's out of the way. So you can store stuff like the table, chairs, fishing pole, things that are long, okay? Then these things would have to be cabinets, you know, that go on the side here. For single person mode, I'm still toying with the idea of making this thing able to handle 2 adults, because 1 adult, I know we can do, you know, we can put the bed just on one side here, and then this other side will set up the cabinets and stuff. So in 1 person mode, it would work like that. But the problem is, I'm wanting to travel across the country in this vehicle with my wife, and you know, unless we're sleeping on top of each other the entire night. We're going to have to lay side by side. And the only way to do that is to have the bed. So I may try to salvage the platform, but instead of having the cabinets here, because really all I would really give up mostly is these 2 cabinets. See, it's just 2. Just 2 cabinets, and then the front storage area. So what I would do is build a little platform here that goes across. That'll give me storage back here. That means I take the existing platform right here, and I just cut it down. or just build a new one. I don't know. Build a new base that just goes across to basically just allow me to store this bed. I mean, the table. I don't want to give up the table is what I'm saying. I want to have a table because when you pull over somewhere, you could set up a table and have a little sit down if you know, if you want to set up a little camp somewhere. And also having storage for long things like a fishing pole is kind of important if you want to go fishing. So I don't want to give that up. Could just put it sideways. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do, or maybe try to get the bed, and not the bed, but the table, if it'll store vertically here somehow, you know, on the side here, make it so it can store vertically here and then come out. That's another option. Then what then the bed is really simple. You just put the bed directly onto the bottom of the vehicle. You don't have to build a platform. That might be the simplest. I mean, that was the original design. So I may look at that option first. So stay tuned for later today. You're going to see me try the different configurations. Because even though this all worked out, it had a really nice back kitchen area and all that, I just found it, you know, probably because I have this padding. This padding's thick. If you remove the padding, that's like 2 or 3 inches. But then you're sleeping on a hard board. You know, maybe the Japanese could do it. They're used to like sleeping on these mattresses, I think, that are filled with rice husk. So, you know, if you like a really hard bed, you could probably do this design and just remove the mattress here and just have maybe a sleeping bag or something, you know, which is a step above sleeping on the ground. You could have a sleeping bag. But I have like a real mattress, the big puffy blue memory foam mattress, and it just made it too tight. So stay tuned. Look forward to seeing the rebuild. I'm kind of sad because this was a lot of work. But, you know, that's why you do these tests before you actually have to live in it. So all of this stuff with the interlocking, the storage, and all that underneath has to be removed. But we're going to keep the wiring. We're going to keep it somewhat the same. Basically, I'm going to have to rip up like half of the work and then try to figure out how to configure everything back in. So stay tuned for that. Look forward to a later broadcast as I reconfigure the situation. And then I need to try to do another test sleep. Because that's ultimately the most important function, I think, of living in a vehicle, is being able to get a good night's sleep. Because without that, yeah, you're not much better off than sleeping on the streets. Well, you're safer. I mean, you have the safety of the vehicle. You know, you're sheltered from harsh weathers and stuff like that. But if it's not comfortable and you're trying to do it where you're trying to save money, or you know, basically you're doing it because you're not wanting to pay rent, you're wanting to live in a vehicle to save money so that you can have money to buy a house, a car, or whatever later, or travel, you need to be comfortable. I think being able to sleep comfortably in a vehicle should be your #1 priority when you're designing a vehicle. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Please stay safe. Bye-bye now.